Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to be reading the poem Rhythm and Flow and When It Rains, It Pours. So we're going to start off with Rhythm and Flow. All right, let's get to it. Power and control is crucial. When connecting, the feelings must be mutual. Never be afraid to express yourself. There's no need for handouts and unnecessary help. Warriors don't fold under pressure. Realize your soul is full of treasure. Teamwork makes the dream work. Muscle through the pain, even if it hurts. And that is rhythm and flow. Now it says power control is crucial. When connecting, the feelings must be mutual. So power and control is crucial, but when connecting, the feelings must be mutual. Whatever circumstances you're going through, you need power control. Whether it's your actions, your reactions, your emotions, whatever goals you're trying to set for yourself, you need power and control. Too much power can be very destructive to anybody. Um, so you need that control. Power control is like duality. You got power, but also you need control because too much power can destroy, but too much control can be restrictive. So you need both aspects in life. That's why it's very crucial. When connecting, the feelings must be mutual. So when you're interacting with people, the energy that you're giving to somebody else, you must also have that mutual energy to be able to receive. And if you're interacting with people that don't have, or if you're interacting with people where you're giving out more than you're receiving, then that is not a an agreement for you to be in. That's not a mutual connection for you to be in. It's time for you to cut that ties and do something else and be where you're actually celebrated and where your energy can be actually be appreciated. Then it says, never be afraid to express yourself. There's no need for handouts and unnecessary help. Never be afraid to express yourself because when you get lost in society's expectations, you feel like you have to conform to certain expressions and certain um, explanation or the way you present yourself. Well, once you understand and understand the mechanism of the universe, you'll realize that if we were to live our life like that, to be afraid to express yourself, then this existence wouldn't exist in the first place. Because this existence will be afraid to express itself through vessels and interactions. You know what I'm saying? So you always want to live up to the energy of the universe, the energy of this cosmic womb. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you really be true to yourself. Because the more you're true to yourself, the more you're actually in alignment with what you need to be in alignment with. And that's when you actually start to manifest things faster for you because you'll realize that, okay, me being myself, my ruffles and feathers, but at the end of the day, I cannot explain who I am to other people without them interacting with me first. That is when they'll get the greatest explanation of who I am and the way I express myself. But if someone is perceiving you based on them knowing you for, let's say, a year, 2 months, 3 months, or even a second while walking by somebody, you will never get the full context of that person's experience, of that person's true uh, saying charisma, but characteristics. You will never really understand that or understand what's really going on. So you actually get to know this person for a full context of time, at least 6 years to 12 years. You know what I mean? I like to do everything by six because that's completion. 6, 12. You know what I mean? It's a sorry, not completion, but a new birth. So one stage, you know someone for 6 years. The next stage, you know someone for 12 years. And that's when you really get to really have a full comprehension of who that person really is. And then it says, no need for handouts and unnecessary help. So when I say no need for handouts and unnecessary help, I'm saying if you're interacting with people, when they do things for you, they always keep a tab. When they do things for you, they keep a tab, a mental tab, so that they can use that against you later on. Those are the type of people you don't need to be with, because those people are not doing things out of pure love, out of pure that heart. You know what I mean? That's why heart and earth is intertwined. If you mix up the word earth, you get heart. If you mix up the word heart, you got earth. Because everything is based on vibration. So the more pure your heart is, the more you be more in tune with this cosmic womb. And that's when you truly will be the Lord of the Ring, because that's what the movie's about. It's all about being the Lord of the Ring. And for you to be the Lord of the Ring, it's not about control, it's not about power. It's purely about being in tune with the vibration of this cosmic womb, this cosmic ring. And when you're in tune based on your heart chakra, based on you living and giving out of pure heart, out of pure love, not the romantic love, but the pure love of, okay, I'm giving to you because I feel like you deserve this for you to be able to work. It can help you in your life. I'm not giving based on expectation. I'm just giving because I feel like I know this can help you when you reach certain circumstances like I did. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, if you have some inspiration from yourself, I can learn something from you too. That's when you're getting pure help. Now, if you're getting help from someone that's going to keep a mental tab and use that against you later on in life, or later on when you have a disagreement, then those type of people were not genuinely trying to help you. They were actually trying to seek some validation from that situation. And because you didn't give them enough energy, they started to use that against you. And then it says, warriors do not fold under pressure. Realize your soul is full of treasure. So warriors do not fold under pressure because warriors only know on how to go. That's it. It's all about go. It's all about creating something out of nothing. That is when you're a true warrior. When you can create something out of nothing, just like existence. You know what I'm saying? You always want to match your energy and match your mechanism based on existence, based on this universe and the mechanism of the universe. That is when, like I said, you will be the true Lord of the Ring. The more you think it's a physical, external thing that you need to control, eventually that will slip away from you. Anything physical has an expiring date. It has a genesis and a revelation. And the genesis is the beginning. You're experiencing now. You're having fun. You're enjoying that physical, tangible thing. But eventually, it has to expire, and that's when it will be greatly revealed to you. Like, oh, okay, this was a temporary thing. That is the revelation, and this was just an experience that I needed to put into my Akashic record, which is my internal library, not the physical library, but my internal library. And my soul is writing things into existence based on my experience. That is what I'm storing into my internal library and my internal record as my Akashic record, as my internal memories. And those are the type of memories that follow you for lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of energy you want to be in. You don't want to fold under pressure. You want to be very strong, and no matter what you're going through, no matter what situation you're going through, you have the power to still keep going because you have a mission and you have a vision. If you don't have a mission or a vision, then things will eventually slow down for you. But the more you have a mission and a vision, then and your heart is pure when going through this vision and this mission, then that's when things will manifest at a faster rate. And this universe will gift you beautiful things that is not physical and tangible, that you will be able to take with you for endless of lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? Because there are other worlds out here that does not focus on the physical things, because the physical is beautiful and it's very vibrant and very captivating. You can get captivated into that physical light, but eventually it has an expiring date, just like anything physical and tangible. It's just how existence is. It's something that you cannot change. And then it says, realize your soul is full of treasure, because that's what your soul is. And not just any soul. A soul full of treasure is a soul that has charismatic gifts. that has something that they love to do, an ability, a capability. That is when you're storing your treasures within your soul, because this is what you're utilizing whenever you're experiencing something. You have something to give out into society, because whether it's being in the circus and you can juggle 10 balls, or if it's skydiving at a very high rate, whatever it is that you can give to the masses and they can be captivated by it, that is you having treasure. That's the treasure in your soul. And that is what you're giving to the people. And that's what we're all here to do. We're all here to have our own treasure and discover those treasures. You know what I mean? And the only way to discover your treasure is by looking within and doing that self shadow work to realize what is within yourself. Then it says teamwork makes the dream work. Muscle through the pain, even if it hurts. The collective is what makes things manifest faster. If you try to do things based on singular, it will manifest by a very small rate. But if you do things based on the collective, then it will manifest at a very faster rate. And that is why it's very important that just as well you're having a singular mindset in experiences, you're still doing it in a way where you can be amongst the collective. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do for the masculine needs to be done based on the feminine, just like the bees. Everything the working bees do is for the queen. Everything you physically do should be for your internal energy. Everything you're conscious aware of should be based on what you already preconceived in your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you're creating within should match what you're doing physically also outside of you. And that is when you're truly intertwined. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do things based on just the physical and based on just the external, and you neglect the internal, you neglect the feminine energy, you're just doing based on the masculine energy, that's gonna expire. But if you do things on the masculine energy, but for the internal energy, that's the thing that's gonna always go on and never end. Because the vibration is life. The matter, the physical atoms is death. That is the last expiration. That's the beginning and end, the alpha and the omega. You know what I'm saying? The beginning and the end. That's things that are in the physical realm, things that you are aware of, like a mentality. Those are things that has an expiring date. But what does never expire is what is being created from within. And yeah, guys, that is rhythm and flow. Now you got to create your own rhythm and flow so that you can flow with the waves of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Because the way the fishes and the whales and the aquarium animals see things, they don't see it like they're swimming. They see it like they're flying or they're walking. That's why you see, even in the deep depths of the sea, you see crabs, you see crawfish. It's just like us walking on the beach. That's how you see crabs walking on the sand deep in the ocean. But they don't see it like, oh, I'm swimming in a deep ocean and I wonder what's up there. They see like, oh, I'm just experiencing down here, until they see like a human in a scuba diver coming down and they're like, whoa, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Is that a different entity? That's what's going on. Same thing with us. To go all the way up there, it's like a fish. If you take a fish out of water, it's not going to be able to breathe because its vessel was not created for that atmosphere. It was created for the specific atmosphere based on down below. Same thing with us. If we were to go very high in a plateau, we won't be able to breathe properly too, because our vessel was not created for that atmosphere. But just like there's oceans upon oceans in space within space, that's how existence is. It's never ending. But to be able to reach there, you gotta have a different mentality, a different vessel. You know what I'm saying? To be able to perceive that experience. Just like you need a different vessel to be able to perceive this atmosphere compared to the vessel that you need to be able to perceive the ocean below. You know what I mean? Everything is a cycle, everything is levels. That also comes from within. So yeah, guys, that is the rhythm and flow. Now let's get to the next poem. The next poem is called When It Rains, It Pours. Hustle hard and observe the power. Some circumstances are sweet and some are sour. Always support yourself throughout all situations. Life will come with issues and certain complications. Happiness can be created if one truly desires. When putting in work, go even harder. There is no time to retire. No one will think for you. Therefore, create a strong mentality. You either stand for something or fall for anything is the ultimate principality. And that is when it rains, it pours. Hustle hard and observe the power. Some circumstances are sweet and some are sour. You gotta hustle hard and observe the power because the more you put in work, the more that becomes physical and tangible. And that is something that you can stand on and rely on. I mean, you're creating that foundation for something that can be very, 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 very last longing and very durable. Then it says some circumstances are sweet and some are sour. That is just the dualistic nature of existence. Some situations, and based on dualistic of situations, based on your mentality, your wisdom, your knowledge, you'll be able to tweak your dualistic experiences into something that is more favorable for you instead of something that is going to drag you down. Because certain circumstances can be sweet and some might be sour, but it might be circumstances that isn't even truly for you because you're in an environment because you're trying to conform to other people's expectation, you know what I mean? Just to fit in. And the whole time, deep down, it's killing your soul. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to please other people and make them feel better about themselves. And you don't know that could be stemming from their insecurity that they didn't work on. So you feel like it's your job to always control how you perceive or how you experience or how you express yourself just to please other people. And eventually that's going to have a toll on your soul. So it's very important that you realize that you're putting yourself in an environment where people actually recognize your capabilities and recognize your talents. Because the more you put yourself in environments that does not recognize that, the more eventually you're wasting your essence. Now, if you're in an environment where you're around people that support your energy and support your hard work and what you're doing, then that's a good thing. Now, if you see other people trying to impose on that, even though you've already moved to a different environment where you're trying to work on yourself, eventually they have given you spiritual and mental power for you to manifest more things. You know what I mean? It's all about utilizing an alchemy and utilizing energy to your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because if someone is taking their energy and instead of focusing on themselves, they're putting it on you, eventually you have no choice but to utilize that energy for yourself and to manifest what you need to manifest because subconsciously they really support you, but consciously they don't want to admit that. They don't want to express that. But they wouldn't be around you if they didn't really like you. You know what I mean? You have to think about it like that. People aren't around things that they don't like. People are only around things or perceive things or express things that they subconsciously like, but they might lie to themselves and say they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's biases or preconceptive views or whatever it is, or ego, whatever it is. But people do not observe or want to be around people that they dislike. You know what I mean? Now, if they're mature people, they can do the shadow work and realize that. And okay, maybe that is what's going on. Because why am I around this person, but I keep saying I don't like them? You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you realize that. If you're around people that you've already purposely moved away and you're trying to work on yourself, but they keep following you, then obviously deep down subconsciously, they actually really like you. But because they've had years and years and decades or certain experiences that have forced them to lie to themselves, they might show that they don't like you. But you being the wiser person and having more knowledge, you know that this person wouldn't even be around me or give me the energy that they're giving to me, even if it's a negative energy, if subconsciously they didn't want to be around my aura field in the first place. And then it says, always support yourself throughout all situations. Life will come with issues and certain complications. So you got to support yourself throughout all situations because sometimes certain lifetimes or certain existence, you're going to have yourself and your spiritual family. I know people say ancestors and stuff, but I like to say spiritual family because that's how it is. We all take turns to be ancestors. We all take turns to be old and young. But as long as you have a support system that gives you, whether it's knowledge, wisdom, experiences that can help you grow, then that is a very beautiful support system. Not everything has to be physical and tangible. You know what I'm saying? Some things can be everlasting, like wisdom and knowledge and experiences and capabilities and abilities that you can take with you. And you can teach other people if they have the open heart to be able to willing to learn. Um, because that's the world we're going in. We're going into a world now where if your heart isn't vibrating at a certain frequency, at a certain vibration, and I don't mean that. Of course, there are gonna be times where you might have to go, go through ups and highs and lows. Go through certain experiences that are extreme and certain experiences that are very mundane. But it's very important that whatever you're doing, you're being true to yourself. And the more you're being true to yourself, the more things will come faster for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're aligned with the vibration and the frequency of this cosmic womb. And this cosmic womb is also vibrating and also has its own frequency. So you want to always match it so you can be in tune with the music, the universal music. That's why it's called in tune. You know what I mean? Just like a guitar, you're in tuning the guitar, certain vibrations. You know what I mean? Certain letters represent certain vibrations. Same thing. Certain people represent certain vibrations. They're like the chords on the universal guitar. So what vibration are you playing on? I mean, what tune are you tuning into that is giving you the frequency and the vibration to give you that knowledge and wisdom to be able to bring it out to the masses and bring something new into society. Then it says, happiness can be created if one truly desires. When putting in work, go even harder. There is no time for retire. Happiness can be created if one truly desires. It's up to you to create your own happiness and what makes you happy. Because what makes you happy might not make someone else happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying it's very important that what you're doing, okay, as long as I'm in my own environment and I'm not intruding on other people's environment and forcing them to think the way I think, forcing them to see the world the way I see it, forcing them to experience things the way I experience things. Because if that was the case, there would only be one person in this existence and would all like be like Simon twins. I think that's what they call them, where it would be one body but 50 heads and 50 legs. But that's not how existence works. Existence works because there's different people. So there's different perspective and different thinking and different analogy to this existence. That's what makes it beautiful. So if you start forcing people to see things the way you see it, then you're living out of order. The only thing for you to do is to proclaim what you think and how you perceive existence, and the people that gravitate towards that energy will come to you. But you never force people to think the way you think. You never force people to perceive things the way you do it. And sometimes you might be doing it out of good heart. You really might be trying to help people. But you will also come to learn, like the way I did, that even when you're doing it out of a pure heart and you're trying to help people, certain people are not ready for that experience yet. And that's perfectly fine. We're all at different working stages of life. You just have to be around the right people and the right environment so you don't feel out of place. Then it says, yes, happiness can be created if one truly desires. You know what I'm saying? So happiness is something that is created. All energy forms, all emotional forms, all thought forms, you create them. And the way you're creating things, there are other entities that are also creating in their own unique way. And that's what makes you guys aligned internally and spiritually. When putting in work, go even harder. There are no time to retire. So whatever you're doing, don't retire. And when I say that, I don't mean don't retire to the point that you expire. Don't retire to the point that you're really tired. I'm saying don't retire when you're putting in work. So just existing is work. Just experiencing other people's energy, that is work itself. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what you're going through, do not retire. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on life. Because life, whether extreme or mundane, is here to teach you something. You're here to learn about yourself and the people around you. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that um, that's what you're doing. You're not retiring. You're always going harder. You never give up. And the more you do that, the more you'll be more in favor of what needs to be gifted towards you. You know what I'm saying? No one will think for you, therefore create a strong mentality. You either stand for something or fall for anything is the ultimate principality. No one will think for you, therefore create a strong mentality. That's saying that your mentality needs to be strong. Your mentality needs to be powerful. And the only way to do that is to think for yourself. Now, you can listen to other people's perspective and opinions, but you have to be the judge, executioner, and jury of your thinking and your emotions and your experiences. You know what I'm saying? That's the Holy Trinity. Your thinking, your emotions is what is intertwined to create your experiences. And that's what you're doing as a soul. You're experiencing and experiencing. You know what I mean? The internal and the external simultaneously. So it's very important that you have a strong mentality. You know what I'm saying? And you have to see yourself as the universe. You have to see yourself as this cosmic womb and the four elements of the universe. You know, you got fire, water, earth, and air. So if you want to create that internal fire, you got to be in the energy of rage. That is you creating that heavenly fire that can burn things down and the all-consuming fire. You know what I'm saying? The all-consuming fire comes from within. It's that internal rage. But when I say internal rage, I don't mean a rage that is not directed at something. You can be very rageful towards your creativity. You can be very impulsive towards your creativity. Like we got Neptune in Aries now. You know what I'm saying? That is you being impulsive to your creativity instead of being impulsive to your delusions. Then you got Saturn in Aries coming up. That is you being impulsive to your structure, to your stability, to your boundaries. You know what I mean? Keeping that boundaries a healthy boundary. You know what I'm saying? And you're very impulsive about that. You're very stern about that. You're very assertive about that. You know what I'm saying? So there's very ways to utilize the elements, the air, the way you think, the way you intellectualize things. You know what I'm saying? The way you analyze things. That is you creating that wind. Now you can make it very violent and create that tornado, or you can create a nice breeze. You know what I'm saying? You can create that water, which is a gentle stream. Your emotions is very calm. It's very soothing, like my videos. You know what I mean? The Poetic Healer is very soothing, but it's also helping you to heal yourself internally. But you can also create a flood with strong, powerful emotions that comes from your tongue. Like your tongue is like a snake. It can be, or it can be like it's like you can use your tongue for both things. It can be very healing or it can be very poisonous. You know what I'm saying? But that's all up to you, how you're utilizing your energy. See, that's what I'm saying. You have to utilize nature and realize that your vessel is the physical representation of nature. And the more you're in tune with nature, the more you can utilize the elements towards yourself. So the more you're earth and grounded, the more you're stable and you can never be swayed. People cannot just say anything and you easily believe it. You have to create your own facts and do your own research and your own backup work before you realize, okay, I agree with this or I don't agree with this. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you're tapping into the elements and you're utilizing these elements within your vessel because this body is the greatest technology in existence. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's TV and all these things, but you have to remember these technologies that we created is something that represents what we're doing. Like the camera is really your eyes. When you blink, you just took a photo, aka an internal photo that is stored in your subconscious. You know what I'm saying? When you're replaying visions, that's like the television, telepathic vision, but you're creating that within. Telephone, telekinesis. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're doing. We're doing this internally before it's being created externally. And then it says you either stand for something or fall for anything is the ultimate principality. You got to stand for something because if you don't, then you can fall for anything. But at the same time, you should not be rigid. You should still have the ability that you can be able to be fluid before creating that earth. You know what I mean? You gotta utilize the element because the earth is the last part of the element. So you don't want to start off with the earth first. That will make you stubborn and make you very naive. You got to start with your own vision, your own fire, your own internal uniqueness. That's when you start to be emotionally connected to other people, which match your fire, your own internal fire, your own uniqueness. And once you've done that, that's when you can start to communicate and analyze amongst the people that you're in tune with based on your internal fire and your emotions, which is your water that you're connected to. And now you're communicating with these people. Now you can make your own stance on something. Now you can be grounded in whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's how you utilize the elements of existence, of this universal womb, of this cosmic ring. And that's when you truly are connected. See, you guys, that is when it rains, it pours. Just like you rain down from the heaven, it also rains from the heavens. You know what I'm saying? And the ways for you to rain down in heaven is based on your intellect and your knowledge. That is where you rain down into the heavens. You rain down from the heavens and onto the masses, onto the earth, onto the physical plane of existence. So, you guys, those are the poems for today's video. Hope you guys gained something new. And until next time, I'll catch you soon.